Every magic trick consists of 3 parts or acts. The first part is called the pledge. The magician shows you something ordinary. The second act is called the turn. The magician takes the ordinary something and makes it into something extraordinary. But you wouldn't clap yet, because making something disappear isn't enough. You have to bring it back. Now, you're looking for the secret. But you won't find it, of course, because you're not really looking. You don't want to work it out. You want to be fooled. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And 2 good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yo.
And Rose.
Hi.
I am the longtime fan, and Dessy and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers this time around. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that's near and dear to us. Today, we have all played the second case of Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, the Magical Turnabout. Were you all expecting for this case to take place in Japanifornia again, to loop back this direction?
I'm pleasantly surprised.
I expected Trucy to be in Kurain.
Mm-hmm.
Apollo acknowledged.
True.
Apollo acknowledged.
Yeah, I mean it's basically a full case, but it's just arranged slightly differently in that it's all investigation, one large investigation chunk, and then one large courtroom chunk.
I wish more were like this, to be honest.
So it's still about, the length of a normal mid case, right? Because of course this is a Yamazaki game. You can't do anything briefly. But
it felt a bit longer, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the last one.
Yeah.
I think that there should have been more breaks, but we'll get into it.
Yeah. Well, if you want, I can jump right into the summary. While Phoenix kickstarts a revolution in a foreign country, Apollo and Athena are busy in Japanifornia watching Trucy's latest magic show. However, as Trucy is overdue for being a defendant, her magic show goes horribly wrong, and a dead man spills out of a coffin during a trick. This man is Mr. Reyes, a heretofore unnamed member of the Gramarye magic troupe who was just off screen, you guys, I swear.
Wait, It's Mr. Reyes?
Yeah.
I thought it was Mr. Ruse.
Mr. Ruse? Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because he was a ruse.
It was all a ruse. Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be a pun on Mr. Mysterious or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I thought, right? Mysterious.
Oh, that makes way more sense. Oh my god. Mysterious.
but it's also Ruse, Mr. Ruse. I guess if you want to read it that way too.
No, I'm siding the other one. I'm jumping on. I'm going on your guys' side.
Okay. Apollo, of course, defends Trucy and then bumps into our good old friend Emma Skye, who is now a full-fledged forensic investigator. Apollo also learns that a visiting prosecutor from Kurain will be taking this case, Nayuta Sadmari. Also, it seems that Apollo has some history with this monastic fellow, but that's for later. For now, Apollo and Athena get Emma's full support to investigate the crime scene and find plenty of evidence of foul play. They also encounter a crooked TV producer, Roger Reddings, or kind of like it's a ratings pun, Retins, who has tricked Trucy into signing a terrible production agreement that puts the crew at risk of losing the entire Write Anything agency. Getting into court, Apollo and Athena break down Bonnie, Trucy's new temporary assistant, and reveal that Bonnie is actually two people, Betty and Bonnie. Not wanting to be framed for murder, they quickly reveal how Roger Ratings has tricked them into helping out and giving Apollo ammo to drag Roger onto the stand. While the slimeball attempts to wriggle out of every detail, Apollo eventually gets to the truth. That Mr. Reyes, who was killed, was actually Man of Mystery. Someone who duplicated Mr. Reyes and Roger is, of course, the original Mr. Reyes, who wished to get revenge on the Grammys by ruining Trucy's career. Exposed as a fraud, he breaks down, and Trucy is exonerated. Hooray. I'm skipping over a lot of details there, but...
This case took 3 hours for investigation, and then another 3 hours for the courtroom segment.
It was
Mr.
Mr.
Yamazaki, I would like to introduce you to the concept of a break. You have, imagine if you will, an intermission between one part of something and another to divide it up so that the audience may go take a break, have a drink, relax, and then come back to the case.
There was segments too where the judge was like, and now we'll have a 15-minute interval or whatever, and then we didn't break.
We did not. Mr. Yamazaki, I have to assume that when this game was designed, he designed it in the mind that like the average player would pause whenever they want and then come back to it, right? As opposed to like the other earlier games in which that like there were segmented breaks and it goes, oh, you can just play until the break and then you're good. It's half an hour, maybe it's an hour. But like, my God, 3 hours? That's
Let's be
Peter
honest,
Jackson's King's Kong.
The average gamer plays that first case and goes, oof, I don't know if this Ace Attorney thing is for me. And puts down the DS like I wanted to do.
I think, I don't know, man. I miss breaks. I feel like breaks were like a part of how you enjoy Ace Attorney. You treat it like a book you're reading before bed, right? Like there's a break in the case, and you're like,
that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of like it's nicer when it's treated more like a book, where there's like, oh, I can stop after this chapter, but the chapter isn't a whole fucking court segment.
Yeah,
I think, this is definitely something we've been sort of like cooking since like the Miles Edgeworth investigations, which makes sense.
Yeah, that last case was really long.
Is the extended time? That being
but it had breaks.
What a nice case. Had a wonderful time, except for thinking at certain points, man, I wish this was shorter.
Like divvied up and paced a little better, basically.
Yeah.
But like I also, maybe it's just me turning on the setting Ben found where I can actually skip ahead in the dialogue.
Yeah.
You're free.
So I feel so much happier. I made it through this much faster.
Right.
But also just, I don't know. I got Apollo. I got Trucy. Emma Skye appeared and she let me do forensics, which is all I ever wanted from her.
And Athena.
And Athena's there and she does fine. There's a little bit of sketch comedy, but it was perfectly nice. There's bunny girls. They're bunny girl twins.
There's
a horrible old man. There's everything I like, except not really feeling the new prosecutor yet, gang.
No, I definitely was very annoyed by him.
Your Honor, dead ass. What's his name? I forget.
I'm calling him that guy.
Nayuta.
Got it. So Nayuta and Apollo Justice fairly obviously know each other, and I now realize that this is the continuation of the let's just insert people into Apollo's background trope that for some reason this game has developed, where like there was Clay Atkins. Who the fuck was that? I don't know. Let's just put him in. And then now
he's gone now.
Clay Atkins. I don't remember his last name. What's his last name?
Clay Taryn.
Clay Atkins or whatever.
Yep, just Apollo and Clay Aiken hanging out.
I love this.
He's friends with a lot of musicians, It makes sense.
And now we got fucking Nayuta. Alright, maybe we should start with the investigation. I love this case because Apollo always felt like, I don't know why, but I think he'd do a great like fucking not TBS. There's like probably TBS actually. I think he'd be a great show where like he's a lawyer for entertainment people because now he keeps getting involved with fucking cases for entertainment people.
It's because he has
Whereas-
magician. He has magician blood in him, and he doesn't even know.
Yeah, like he does not recognize that the call to protect entertainers is not coming from within, but but he knows that he must. He protected Le Miroir. He protected fucking Trucy, that blonde kid. What's his name? Raul? I forget.
You mean the foreign national minor?
Yeah, the foreign national minor
with a visual impairment that it did turn out to be fake. However,
they didn't know that at the time.
yeah, they didn't know that at the time, and they were still like, "Let's kill this teenage child."
So I felt like we were playing Apollo Justice in this case, and I kind of loved that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For a split second,
that.
I forgot this game was called Phoenix Wright.
I mean, this one is just called Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, right?
Oh yeah, fair point, fair play.
Well, actually, no, you're right. This does still
Phoenix
have the fucking Phoenix Wright title. You're right. It does still say
Oh
Phoenix
my
Wright
God.
Ace Attorney.
I should have believed in myself.
Yeah,
should've
no,
believed.
we've still got the Phoenix
You
Wright
should've
title. I
believed.
forgot. We
So
hadn't
yeah,
dropped that.
it felt like we were in Apollo Justice. So it was like, I felt like, wow, this is like a new game.
And Apollo's walking around and doing things like being a lawyer, saying
Being a
things
lawyer.
that lawyers would say.
And like
you
he and
know.
Athena play off each other really well. I feel like in this case, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of enjoyable little banter between them. I mean, not to like sound too much just like, ooh, it's thing I recognize, pointing at the screen, but like it's my good friends, Apollo, Athena, Trucy, Emma, Sky. Like all these people are characters who I really like,
Yeah.
and I'm getting to see them bounce off of each other in new ways, right? So guess what? That's a recipe for success.
That's good shit. It's been a
I
while
got
since a
to
close family.
forensic.
You got to forensic.
Yeah.
Emma Sky showed up and she went, "I'm not mad anymore. I don't have to stress eat." And everyone went, "Okay." And then she
stopped
did.
chain smoking.
She chops chain. Oh yeah, I forgot that this was supposed to be an allegory for smoking.
I don't know if it is. Don't take my word for that.
We were discussing the other day about how like possibly every lawyer in this game is chain smoking, except for Miles Edgeworth, who does not chain smoke with the rest of them, but
Phoenix
simply does it
doesn't
in his
because
own
he
room.
can't smoke around his daughter.
Phoenix
He
quit
quit.
for Tracy.
He quit for Trucy, but before, I'm saying the original trilogy, that man was hitting those fucking packs. That guy,
They're all
he was a
based off of Japanese
Yeah,
businessmen.
he was an art student.
And art. Trust me, we went to
He
art
was-
school. We know.
He was a Newport warrior for a while, okay? And then he dropped it. He dropped the blade for Trucy and went to alcohol.
Miles,
What's
that one guy you like know, you've known him for years, and then you find out he smokes, and you're like, what? I've definitely
Exactly.
had that experience. I've been like, what? How? How do you not smell? How are you doing it?
He dips his fingers in like acetone every time he smokes, so it doesn't smell like cigarettes.
That also has a smell.
But
No,
it's
like that shit sticks to you. You gotta like change your clothes.
You
Miles
do,
Edgeworth
and like
would
cleaning your
own a
house.
smoking jacket.
oh, he would own a smoking jacket.
Yeah.
Dude,
My grandma talks
That's in
about how
character.
like she used to clean her house so that it didn't smell like cigarettes.
You can't smoke indoors.
Simply don't smoke inside.
I don't believe in smoking indoors. If you're gonna smoke, take that shit outside.
We're talking about my grandmother here. Like
Sorry,
everyone was,
my bad.
everyone was chain smoking. She quit. She's fine. She's great.
Shout out to
But-
Grandma Rose for
Don't
being fine.
smoke, folks.
And if
Don't
you do
smoke.
smoke, take that shit outside.
Don't smoke inside. And
Don't smoke
especially
inside.
don't smoke inside if you have animals or children.
We really took a moment here for a PSA, but maybe we should get
Yeah,
back to
You know
that's-
what? It's a good PSA. We're right, and we should say it.
Anyway,
So this case, right? We get to So here's like the thing is that Trucy has a show called Trucy in Wonderland or whatever. I don't remember the actual
Grammarly
name.
Yeah, Tracy and
Grammarly
Grammarly Land. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Whatever,
You know what,
Trucy.
Trucy? I actually do think you need an editor.
let the
Um,
grammary go. Oh my god.
So
Your
there's
grandpa sucked as a person.
so we introduce a new Grammary member. It was like so each other one has like a suit for for like a card, right? Is he supposed to represent like the Joker because he had that mask?
Yeah.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mr. Ruth, mysterious.
Mr. Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna do a show with you to bring back the Gamma and here's my assistant, Bonnie. Bonnie's a bunny girl. And I go, yippee, and
I also go, yippee.
Trucy went, okay, there's a bunny, what do we want to do? And she goes, we should probably just do the tricks we're best at. And that includes Mr. Roos's fire trick, Bonnie's disappearing trick, and whatever the fuck Trucy wants to do because she's a goddamn prodigy. And that's what we do for most of the thing. And then
She was assigned magician at birth, so.
She really was. It was part of her fucking FF class choosing. So it goes bad during the trial show, and she a blue mage. I want to say, I mean, the obvious choice would be black mage, but I see
she
blue mage makes
destruction magic.
She learns a lot of spells. You're right. She might be more of a blue mage. Red mage is the variety. Anyway, Mr. Roos is dead. He dies, and apparently he died pretty quick. Like he died because like we have a video that we have to look through. It has motion tracing or whatever. What's it called? Motion.
Lots of videos in this one.
Motion capture.
Definitely 2/3 of the way through this case, they go, and here's the game mechanic for comparing and rewinding videos, and I go, oh no.
I actually do think this is kind of sick because I did notice the shadow when I first watched it and went, that was something.
Oh my god, I was waiting. There's so much in this that I was like, fucking let me.
They give you a gun, but they don't let you pull the trigger.
Yeah, no, there's so many.
Some of them, they just straight up didn't let me pull the trigger. I have some notes.
So we see the footage, and like it appears that Trucy gets stuck in the coffin. Then Mr. Hat flies around, manipulated by Bonnie, who's the bad guy in this. And Mr. Hat was supposed to stab the coffin, but then Trucy switched places with him, and she stabs the coffin instead to ruin the ritual. There's a plot in Trucy and Grammary, and that's like a little too heady for my taste.
It was
honestly.
too much, actually.
If
For real.
Dead ass, if you're a magician and I have to follow a plot of what's happening on stage, maybe it's a little too much for me. I don't know. Maybe like a real magician will comment on this and tell us that we're wrong.
Like Reyes is supposed to transform, quote unquote, into the dragon, which is why there's the big purple and green dragon prop on the stage.
Side note, apparently she gets Apollo to make and paint for her.
That's so beautiful.
And he's like, I just can't say no to whatever Trucy wants. And I'm like, me too, for real.
She gives me the puppy eyes, and I'm like her older brother, but I don't know it, so I have to do it.
Yeah.
So the plot is that he's like a dragon wizard. Trucy kills him in the first act, and then his subordinate is supposed to start the ritual to bring him back for the third act, and then in the third act, they defeat him again. The coffin shows up in the second act. This is important because they talk about how another character was prepared for the third act because they knew there wasn't going to be a third act.
Right.
So body pops out the second act. Trucy obviously goes, holy shit, that's a dead body. And we have to stop the thing. Mr. Ratings, the producer, is kind of sleazy. I kind of love him. He's kind of
I love him.
He is straight up an antagonist. Like every step of the way you talk to him, he like is in your way.
So sleazy.
Instantly.
It's delightful.
He's instantly super shitty too. Yeah.
If you're going to try to sabotage a like bloodline, maybe don't be so obvious about it. I don't know, man. Like don't honestly
help it. He's a magician.
So it turns out later, we'll see in the court case some knowledge, but he's just like, yeah, and this is the moment where I'll destroy the Gammaries and all evil magicians, and we go, I think he has an agenda. He must. Why would he talk like that if he didn't?
What? No
Trucy, so this was, they mentioned involuntary manslaughter in this case. You can be manslaughter in
For the
Japan,
first time ever.
I don't know if it's the first time
of involuntary
ever,
manslaughter.
Yeah.
I honestly got to think that this is the first time in an Ace Attorney game where they gave us the option of your client is victim for
this was a fucking accident caused by your client's negligence, but it wasn't murder.
Right.
So Miles Edgeworth did not get manslaughter. He got moida. We got manslaughter because we're an adorable magician, I guess.
I'm still mad about that. Oh goodness, I'm dying here.
So eventually we're like, she gets arrested on like manslaughter charges. That's fucked. And then apparently the prosecutor goes, I have reason to believe that it was a murder. And we go, who are you? And we have to find out through like,
Who are you anyway?
Who are you anyway? So like, we meet Emma Skye,
you?
who obviously leaks information because she's our bro. We dap her up, and we got a slip her a bag of snack foods on the side.
Yeah.
She lets me do fingerprint dusting.
And like your very first conversation with her, she's immediately like, I know Trucy didn't do this.
She's immediately on your side. She got a promotion and can now do forensics without having to worry about getting caught. Good for her. So she lets us do it. She gives us all sorts of stuff. She lets us investigate the stage. She goes, you can't go downstairs yet because the magicians call that the abyss where they lose all their power. And I go, I think that these guys are way too into theater. Maybe we should just, I don't know, treat this like a normal room.
Yeah, like I'm going down there.
I'm investigating, or else my sister will be sent to prison or get the chair. While we're investigating, the Ratings Raja shows up, Mr. Ratings, and goes, so I have created slander. I have using the power of my show, which makes fun of celebrities, I'm going to rake fucking Trucy over the coals in front of the public eye. And I'm like, damn, dude, shit. Chill. It's been like one day.
I'm all for making fun of rich people, but Trucy isn't there yet.
The second she had a certain income, we kill her.
The second anyone makes over a certain income, they just become stupid.
Fair. But not right now. Trucy's an independent.
Yeah, she's indie.
She has her brother painting the set pieces for free.
Yeah.
She does not have money.
Yeah.
So
she's
we
not
have
even 18.
There's a lot of going back and forth in the investigation phase because Trucy says, hey, get that book for us. Hey, let's go to the other room. Hey, we have to get permission to check out this room. It felt very like late or like it felt like the original trilogy in that case, where it was just like, all right, I have to talk to specific people in a certain order in order to progress.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing, though.
I definitely got stuck at one point where I was like, what am I missing?
What is up, Ben?
The thing is, did you guys realize that you have new flexibility? A returning feature? You can now investigate and tap on the screen whenever you want.
I examined
You can do it again.
Oh my god.
You can tap on everything you'd like now. They brought it back.
So much.
I'm unleashed. Like a
I think that
the second I saw the roses in Trucy's room with the little Gaviner symbol, and I was like, Clavier.
Clavier, Jinxie, and Lamoire dropped flowers off, and I think that's very wonderful.
And there's definitely like a scene where like Athena's like, oh, you don't really like to talk about Prosecutor Gavin, do you, Paul? And Paul's like, shut the fuck up.
Literally the same vibe as him blushing, going, shut up.
But I think that gives a lot of it gives a lot of flavor dialogue to the rest of this case, right? Is the ability to do that again. That's a huge amount of dialogue just between Apollo and Athena, bouncing off of each other or whatever, NPC is in the scene with them sometimes too, right?
This feels like it should have been in an Apollo Justice.
Yeah. And it's just nice to have it back after losing it in Dual Destinies.
We check out, I remember checking out The Office and like talking to Athena about like, how do you feel about living in a magician's office? And she goes, it's kind of weird. it's kind of weird that we have those strange shelves. And Apollo goes, yeah, sometimes my stuff disappears when I put it in there.
I just think I'm worried that they don't actually have their own apartments. I'm worried about them.
You think?
I hope they're not sleeping on the couch. I mean, Apollo probably is sleeping on the couches, but still.
Here's what I think. I think he's the type of person who would move nearby to his job. Like, he gets a new job and he goes, I should move closer so I have less commute. And
he's definitely got an apartment nearby.
Yeah. Athena, she's 18, therefore probably still receives money from her fucking parents. Oh wait, no, fuck, her parents are like dead. Fuck.
Her parents are so dead.
Where's her dad? I don't know who her dad is.
Her
She's
dad
not
is
important.
not in the
Do you-
picture.
Honest to God question, do you think she has Gyaxa money? That's how she, like, is able to do shit? Like, she must
Also
have...
Good question.
That there's money in a trust fund for her from her parents or whatever. Not in
Yeah.
that I say she's a trust fund child or whatever, but like
I mean,
there
she got
may
to
be a
go to
trust in her
Europe,
mother's
okay?
name for
So,
her.
like, come on.
Money isn't important in these games until you're on a $3 million contract.
Until
Exactly.
Million is a lot. Even if
we walk into Trucy's thing before the show, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta sign this funny contract," and we all go, "Okay." And we
That'll be important later.
we poke around her room, and she goes, "Don't touch my stuff, Apollo." And we go, "Okay, sorry." And then later we find out that she's on the hook for $3 million. This
Which
show,
she was
not.
tricked. She was tricked.
Yeah.
She did say she did read it.
so the clipboard that she signed the contract on has like a carbon copy underneath that like will transfer your
paper,
signature to something else.
Mhm.
That's like pretty illegal, man. That's like
I mean, I
Oh.
don't think the ratings Raja is too worried about illegality right now.
I just like
I looked at him and I could feel the tax evasion coming off of him.
I'm just saying that like honestly, if we brought this to court, you would get destroyed, right? Like
You do bring it to court, and guess what? He does get destroyed.
true. Then we have to we go back to Trucy, who goes, "What if I actually did it?" And we go, "That's a bio, Trucy. We know you didn't do it. You're such a good magician. You practice every day, and you're probably fine." And we give her Werther's original, and she's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
That's exactly how it goes. We investigate a lot. We go to like the producer. The rating Raja show is insane. It's like casino themed, and you're supposed to like gamble on whether or not a fucking celebrity is guilty of something. Why is it
Yeah.
low-key gambling?
It's really weird. like,
just-
yeah, they have
Just
this.
to,
like,
I guess, trying to just drive home how fucking sleazy he is.
Yeah. But yeah, they're people. They take bets on the show for whether a celebrity actually did the crime they're accused of. How many celebrities are constantly getting accused of crimes in this universe that allows for a
Enough to
show
make
like
a
this to
goddamn
be
TV
successful?
show, yeah.
An
The
episode
Silver
every week,
Samurai,
but hey.
the Steel Samurai, the Return of the Steel Samurai. Or maybe there's a lot
Iron
of
Infant.
Iron
Every week,
Infant.
though?
He probably covered the incident that took place at the embassy.
But you got to be taking bets while the event's happening, like until they
It was
get...
a long event. Remember how we were there for like hours studying this fucking case?
It's true. Yeah,
Um,
just off screen, the camera was like poking through some bushes, right, to get footage.
We talked to several of his employees who were like, "Oh, you need some footage of what happened? Here you go." And then another guy goes, "Yeah, I have. My footage was just only on Bonnie though." And I go, "Okay, man, you shouldn't say that to me."
And-
Like,
Bonnie's
it
like,
becomes
yeah, it
plot
was
critical.
weird and creepy, and I was gonna have it dealt with later, but I guess this might save Trucy.
Bonnie this entire time has been like, "Oh, Trucy's my hero. She's so cool," and she's like soft and meek. And then later it turns out that she has a secret side to her, what appears to be a secret side, where she's mean and hates Trucy. And the rating Raja loves this side of her because
Mhm.
his eyes go red like Sanji, and he does like the snake like charm dance.
Yeah, it's very One Piece.
He
And
has
it's like
entirely unique animations just for that scene too.
he
Yeah.
never
Like
does
his
that again.
lovey-dovey
He has
animations
so
never
many
come up again.
animations.
and we couldn't get young Gumshoe.
They motion
Well, it's a
cap
different
that.
game,
That
different
was
budget.
no, different.
No, I'll never let it go.
They
His
couldn't
jacket
fit
was-
that many pixels.
Yeah, they didn't have many pixels back then. So we have to go to court, and we're like, all right, it's either the rating Rajas or Bonnie, and Bonnie is like having some sort of Jekyll Hyde scenario going on. So like, whatever.
And to be
Uh,
clear, again, Bonnie's trick that we've brought up multiple times before this is that she has an amazing teleporting trick where she can appear on the other side of the stage or the other side of the stadium or whatever in like a second, and everybody's like, how does she do it? It's her one really good trick.
It's a good trick.
Well,
Mr.
The
Roos's...
prestige.
She's
Mr.
twins.
I just got a text noise and it occurred.
I love
Uh,
that she's twins. I'm so delighted. I
So-
love it. I love twins where like one of them's nice and one of them's mean.
Um,
Oh, they just talk to each other the entire time and not to anyone else. I'm like, hell yeah. Good for
So-
you girls.
we have to cross-examine Bonnie because we can't just interrogate Mr. Roos. Oh no! Our first cross-examination is Emma Sky, and Emma Sky we're speaking with in front of Nayuta,
Not you.
the
He's just
foreign
whatever.
prosecutor who has decided to try this case because he's here on vacation and we're low on prosecutors.
And he watches too much reality television, I think.
He
It's
had
a
to be
really,
prepared.
it's a really strange conceit to get him here before
Yeah.
presumably he shows back up in the Korean cases, right?
Could you not
But
have
it-
tied Mr. Roos in some way to the Karain and therefore have a reason to send one of his fucking prosecutors? They're just saying, man.
But yeah, they basically say, yeah, like Nayuta's here because, well, he was traveling, he likes to see all the different legal systems across the world. He happened to be here, and
we're really short on prosecutors.
we're short on prosecutors, so we said, hey,
Our
you want to do this,
prosecutors
buddy?
keep getting caught in murder.
Yeah.
Our
There's a
prosecutors-
line where they're like, the chief prosecutor fired a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
So we're really low on staff.
So
Miles cleaning house.
Miles is cleaning up. Good for him. I'm not sure about this guy, Miles, but I guess he just went like, oh, it's fine, Apollo will handle it.
I mean, you get
honestly,
to see all the animations, like his first introduction. What was your first blush impressions of this character? I know it sounded like kind of but
so
My first thought was, I'm going to crush this twink under my foot heel in like a non-cool way. Like I did not
non-cool way.
like derogatory as opposed to
Oh,
affectionate.
derogatory. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
You actually did need to add that for me. Thank
I
you.
did, yeah. I thought about that, and I was like, my desire to hit him with a shoe could come across in a certain way.
It's not slash pause. It's slash.
I feel like I would have liked
Yeah.
him better if he wasn't so.
He is straight up is like, I
heavy
respect women.
religious.
And I'm like, if you respected women, you wouldn't have to say that.
True. Miles
He
didn't pretend.
straight up pulls the I
Miles
respect
just
women
straight up
card.
didn't respect.
Miles at least doesn't respect women and tells you that.
True.
He goes like, "Oh, I hate women. They smell." And you're like,
They-
"Okay, whatever."
So
Noted.
before we meet this prosecutor, we talked to Emma Sky a little bit, and she's like, yeah. So he views the prosecution as like the victim's last rites, and I'm just like, does he only do murder? What about if it was just like a civil case?
What if it was manslaughter?
What if it was manslaughter? No,
and also,
but
there's the thing where he's like, "Oh, he can see the karmic threads of the," and I was like, "That's it." I I can't close the DS because I'm playing on the 2DS, but
Thank you for
I
not-
wanted to close the DS
the
on him.
2DS in half.
please don't stop that 2DS in
Just
half.
I folds it like a piece of bread. I would never.
So here's my thing about him is that like the prosecutors always have to have like a gimmick, right? Like
Mhm.
there was Miles, who's pretty boy. There's Francisca von Karma, who has a whip and she whips you into shape. There's Godot, the coffee man. There's Gaviner, the rocker. There's there's fucking Black Bull, the imprisoned. And then there's this guy, the monk, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. He doesn't do it for me. He was really he straight up is like aggressive and is like, I think you're stupid. I think you were born a bug. You can't.
You're
think.
evil.
He's
You're
so
evil.
mean, and
The
like he definitely looks like a D&D character that I personally would design, but like a little bit off. That's frustrating.
I don't have any problem with his like design, but his
Yeah, he looks
character,
pretty.
his character being like wholly like religious and.
My thing
He
about it
has
is
voice
that, like,
acting too. He has voice acting things.
it's
and I don't-
unavoidable.
I don't like it. He has a unique objection though.
True.
That is
Yeah.
interesting. That he doesn't always use.
He
But
has
it's
a
in like the Kuranese language or whatever, and it has like a different letter.
he has a chant. He chants in the
I don't like any chance.
when he chants, and it comes up as a different text that's definitely not real. I'm just like,
Right.
hey, dude, going on, man?
Just press the B button. Just press the B button on him.
I'm not doing that.
I am. I'm doing it for you. I'm coming to your house and I'm pressing B.
You can't. Here's my thing about him is that he hasn't left like an interesting mark on first glance. Like every other prosecutor we have has been like interesting at like the first moment we talk to him. Like Francisco, we're like, what the fuck does she have the whip for? With Godot,
she was interesting purely like she was like, I'm Avant Karma and I'm going to hit you with a stick.
Yeah,
like,
she had like story
I want
reasons
revenge, you know.
Yeah.
But
personal.
Miles, actually, early I was like, this Miles guy is obnoxious, and I was right.
Yeah, but that's the best
like
part.
he was obnoxious in a way that worked out for me. So I will see how this guy does, but my first impression of him is kind of like, yeah.
He's kind of mean. He's mean without being charming because he just calls you a bug.
Yeah, I think you're right. Dessy said it too, right? It's just he's just a little too like, you are a bug, you are below me, you are incorrect, you are wrong, and you do get to catch him off guard.
Dirty. You know,
and I'm like, oh, my soul
up.
is dirty.
Yeah, you get to catch him off guard a little bit later.
I will kill you, like a normal person.
Right.
Francisco Von Karma made like Saturday morning villain cartoon threats, and like, you foolish fool of a fool, I'll defeat you.
And she's doing that, and I'm just checking her age in the bio, and I'm going, okay.
This makes sense. This all tracks.
Right. A teenager. Okay.
Thank God she mellowed the fuck out. I think so. I don't know.
She's off working with Interpol now, still, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
good for her.
I want to like Nayuta because I keep saying Nayuta. It's Nayuta. I want to like Nayuta because honestly, just having another like fucking prosecutor against Apollo is nice because you get to play as Apollo. But I'm counting down the amount of space. I love Clavier, dude. Clavier was awesome because he was
Tiago,
a cool guy
Clavier
from the
sips.
yes, of course. Why aren't you?
Apollo.
Like, to the listener reading this, why aren't you? Think about that. He's awesome.
Fix that.
He's genuinely nice when you first meet him. He's
Your
like
heart or die.
And he's nice the whole time.
He smiles at me and he
you.
means it. He was behind me. So like, it's kind of interesting because now Apollo has like an antagonistic, like his own prosecutor. Because like Black Quill, like as much as we want him to be Apollo's prosecutor, he's Phoenix's prosecutor. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. I'd say he's Athena's.
Oh, true. That's the thing though. Athena only gets like 1 or 2 cases in the game.
But she gets like the personal connection with him.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely Athena's.
I think for me, I think the issue is that like because both
willing
Phoenix
to die for her.
True.
He was going to the chair for her.
Here's my thing: is that because both Phoenix and Blackwell are tied to the beginning of the Dark Age of the Law, that's why I have that connection for them. Because both of their cases was supposedly the beginning of the Dark Age of the Law.
I hate the Dark Age of the Law is a plot hole at best.
It really is. But like that's where the connection comes from me, right? And plus like
they told us the Dark Age of the Law happened, but I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Honestly, it
looks the same as all the other ages to me.
So like I guess it's fair. I guess Blackwell is more of Athena's prosecutor. So, like, now Apollo has a new prosecutor, and he's an asshole. Like, he is straight up not nice. We don't like him. We want him booed off the stage.
He's not just Kurt. He's just an asshole.
He's not a heel. That's the issue. Like, if Ace Attorney is kind of like WWE, where we have different fucking stage ring matches, and, like, this is Apollo's...
WWE stands for Right Edgeworth.
Right Edgeworth.
Yeah, see, if he was a heel, I would want to crush him under the shoe of my boot, the heel of my boot. Positive, as opposed to derogatory.
Exactly.
Right.
He's just an asshole. And, like, there are times where he, like, kind of teases Apollo, but it's just, like, at the end of the tease, he goes, "You're so fucking dumb. I hate you." And we're all just like, whoa.
It's like when, like, other girls were mean to you in, like, middle school, and it's like, come on, like, this is not even creative. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
these are boring.
If you're gonna insult me, do better.
Get good.
Yeah. So, Emma Sky's like, I don't want to testify. I don't think Trucy did it. And Nayuta is like, girl, I own your salary. You will do your job. Thank you. To be fair, he was very business about that. I like that about him. He's a business guy. So yeah, she testifies. We point some holes out simply because we knew shit that Emma Sky didn't know. Finally, we get to know what the prosecution doesn't. I can't believe the conceit for this being...
Everything's backwards. You know something the prosecution doesn't know, and the investigator is on our side.
We should get together and share all of our evidence and decide what needs to be in and out of court.
Never.
What happened to Discovery? People!
This is WWE court, okay? The Rock is hindering my prosecution.
I may or may not have jury duty this week, listeners, so...
Wait, really? Is that deadass true?
Yeah, I have to go in for jury duty on Wednesday, so...
You've never mentioned this!
I've definitely been bitching about it all week.
This is the first I'm hearing about it. Holy
go
shit.
And be a real ace attorney.
Holy
know
shit.
what? There is almost no chance I will get picked. If I even actually go in, every time I've ever had jury duty, for those of you who hadn't had it before, you get your letter
in America
before you go, and the letter is like, oh, call this phone number the night before and we'll tell you if you need to come in or not. I have never actually had to go in.
How many times have you been called?
Twice so far.
Okay, yeah, I'm at 2.
Yeah.
I'm also at 2.
Yeah,
I'm
both
at
times
1.
it's like, they're like, oh, everything's canceled. You don't have to come in. You're good.
But
if I actually go in, they're going to take one look at me and I'm going to be like, I think we should abolish prisons. And they're going to be like, get her out of here.
Exactly.
So,
I feel...
As somebody who thinks like that and got all the way to the point where they were picking jurors, they don't care.
You know what's wild is that when I got called for jury duty, I wrote down that, like, yeah, I think the system is, like, corrupt against people of color and therefore don't believe in it. And then the fucking lawyer goes, okay, but the guy we're prosecuting is white. How do you feel? And I'm like, well, fuck, I guess that counteracts the point I made. And he goes, great, you're on the jury duty. I go, fuck, shit. I should have said something else.
I can handle it. I will be getting out of it.
I will not be talking about the case.
I mean,
I feel
they have to
about
pay
it
me
now.
for like 3 days of work if I get selected. So I guess it could be worse. I'll keep
All
you all updated.
You sit down in front of the attorney and they're like, all right, so we're interviewing for jury. And you're like, okay, guess
right,
what,
so I'm
buddy?
on
Here's
this
why you
podcast.
should pick me. Yeah, here's why you should pick me. I'm on.
How far have any of you guys gotten? Because that is not how that works.
I got pretty far. I get to the point where I'm called into the court and then, like, the lawyers are, like, talking to the judge and be like, we should get that one, and that one.
Yeah, I got that far too.
Anyway.
And they didn't pick me, and I was like...
I mean, consider that I'm like going in the city of Boston, right? Like,
yeah.
There's gonna be so many people, and like, most likely what I'm gonna do is sit around for a while, and then they're gonna be like, leave. So
makes sense to me.
If I have to go in at all.
So we break down Emma Sky's fucking testimony using evidence that we have that she doesn't. The reason that Nayuta believes that this is murder is because
this is shaky.
This is shaky. He goes, Trucy had the intent to kill him because he was secretly trying to steal the Grammar secrets. And Trucy knew about this. And we go, how could you prove that she knew about it? And he goes, we know that the book was found in Grammar stuff. And she knows that too. And I go, but she only knew that after she was in prison, bro. How did she plan the murder from prison? And also after he died. But we don't get to say that because we're not Apollo. That's Tiago thought right there, buddy.
Right.
What the fuck? That's your reasoning? I just can't fucking believe it.
It's a little messy here at the start.
I
mean, also it gets messy at the end too. But
they really stress the fucking
there.
fact that like we have to get
so shaky. His like at least with like the other prosecutors, they usually had like a pretty solid like we have this really damning piece of evidence, right?
Yeah.
And, like, this guy's just winging it. Like, he found some fingerprints on some stage tape that's totally reasonable to be there.
Yeah, that's the most insane part. The reason
And
that we
then,
think it's a
like,
murder. Oh my god. Yeah.
he finds a note later that he doesn't understand and, like, keeps it out of evidence for a while because he's just like, well,
Rose, he sees the threads of karma.
he
in this.
doesn't. I'm killing him.
Your Honor, I'm killing this guy.
In Minecraft.
So, like, the reason he thinks that fucking Trucy is responsible because her fingerprints are on the tape, but we also bring up the fact that, like, Trucy wears gloves. Why is her fingertips on the tape? It's more suspicious that the
It would be
the
weird
fingertip...
if her fingerprints weren't on some of the tape.
Yeah. Oh my god. Fucking Christ alive, man. So we have to talk to Bonnie, who is the closest person to the body when the body was shown. And Bonnie goes, okay, haha, I'm nice and everyone likes me. And we go, are you ready to testify, Bonnie? And she goes, fuck you. And I go, okay, I will talk about this in your now therapy session we are now doing for you because Athena says we have to.
And this is the one bit where I'm actually kind of into this whole scenario with Athena, because I like her immediately going, like, smirking, right? And going like, hey, Judge, I can tell that poor Bonnie's all tense and all messed up in the head, and we need to give her a court-approved therapy session. And the judge is like, oh, that's so nice of you, Athena. And Athena's like, yeah, you're right. It is really nice of
We
me.
pinch him on
Okay,
the
Bonnie,
cheek.
I'm ripping your head open. We're going to see what's inside there and what's making you
She's suffering
tick.
from PTSD.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
joke's
the judge
oh,
is
she's-
like, she is acting kind of scary. All right, carry on.
And she's
Yeah.
like, shut up, Judge. I'm not acting scary at all.
Yeah. So this is like kind of like a fun way to almost like weaponize the mood matrix, right?
Yeah.
And be like, no, I'm going on the offensive here. I'm going to figure out why you were so like erratic and
Why are you so mean?
Yeah, why? I'm gonna
so
tap the
mean?
mean button like 5 times now and be like, why you mean, Bonnie? And of course,
Nayuda,
as you go through this,
Nayuda
Yeah,
straight
he-
up says, like, I don't know about therapy. And we all go, like, trust Nayuda, this is our court. We do this here.
yeah,
The judge is
this
like,
is how we do things in Japan, California.
this is how we do things in Japan for it. He goes, like, okay, I guess. Sure. So we get in her head, and then we find out that she's super psyched to see Trucy sad at any time. She's, like, pumped about it. She loves it. And we all go, hey, what's up with that? I thought you said you liked her. And she goes, no, I like her. Yeah. Yeah. So we get to the heart of the matter, which is, how the fuck did Bonnie know something that she would not have been able to see? Because at the time of the recording, she was on stage. How did she see something that she could not have seen?
There were 2 orcas.
She must have been there.
There were 2
There was 2 girls, 2 bunnies.
Yep.
And Apollo realizes this and goes, no way. I know the truth. And somehow, this is not the most annoying thing, is that, like, yeah, there's 2 of them. Her name is Betty, and she's bat-themed instead of a bunny theme.
And
Okay.
they do have some really fun animations, though, as they
Yeah.
teleport around the courtroom and like sit on the bench as the spotlight like shines on them, and they
Mhm.
twirl their umbrellas around. So it is, they do at least play it up in a fun way, I thought.
Yes, I actually did really like that stuff. I like the animation
Are
where
you
one of
telling
them
me
goes,
they're entertaining entertainers?
they pretend to be like floating, but it turns out the other sister's just holding their out. And that's super
Yeah.
fun. Like, you can see
Yeah,
the
good
hands.
Judge
animation.
is
They're
completely
so cute.
fooled.
They really
Oh.
charmed me. It was very effective.
I like Bonnie and Betty. Bonnie's the nice one who's Trucy fan, and Betty's the mean one who's Trucy's enemy. And they go, listen, the reason we did all this, we can't say because of our contract. And Apollo goes, this might have something to do with the contract. I should think about this a little bit.
I said on the Let's Play, but I was like, wow, this is the entire plot of A Wolf Among Us.
Oh, Wolf, what do you mean?
You
Oh,
play
because
Wolf
of the
Among
next
Us?
thing. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
because of the contracts.
The contracts. Oh my god. Yeah, Bonnie and Betty are a fae. So we figured out, in the cruelest way possible, this is all supposed to be like a celebrity prank. And then Naoda goes, "Oh, I've seen television. I know the truth. You Japanophorians love torturing each other with these so-called pranks." And we go like, I mean, you're kind of right, man. Yeah, we do. It's fucked. He wasn't supposed to die in the prank. So, like, that was fucked up. And Benny, the bunny girls. Sorry. I really struggled.
Yep.
The bunny girls go like, yeah, we didn't know that was going to happen. It was really scary, but we didn't do it, I swear to God. Like, I promise. And we go, okay, if you say so. That leaves the other person who
Surely
knew
they're
about
not
this.
lying.
And they try to imply that Trucy knew about the prank by having a document signed by her that says, I know about the prank. Let me in on it. And this document was one of the carbon copies that was made off of the fucking clipboard because it has the same signature at the bottom of it.
Right.
I don't think any court would be like, yeah, a 17-year-old signing a contract for $3 million is definitely something we'll hold up.
Yeah, usually I'm pretty sure
needs a
that doesn't
co-signer.
check out.
She's emancipated.
She objectively is not.
I know.
She's on Phoenix's health insurance.
Oh,
Phoenix doesn't have health insurance.
I don't know about that. Does Phoenix have health insurance?
No, he's in California.
Okay.
I just love the
It's
idea
probably
that,
not
like,
good health insurance.
Trucy,
I've been on state health insurance.
Yeah.
And
takes
I'll do it
Trucy-
again.
He's
But,
like, sorry, Tracy. Just we're doing the basic state plan.
no dental.
He
Nobody
goes to
has
Trucy
dental.
and be like, you have to become a really good magician because I can't afford to take care of you if you're not. I need you to fucking step the fuck up. We need food on the table. I can't keep playing at the fucking club. Anyway.
On that note, don't put the burden of finances on children, aka don't become a child actor.
True. Another PSA. I'm glad that we're getting multiple in an episode now. It keeps me feel warm and safe. We have to talk to the rating Rajas because we all agree that 1, he definitely knows more than he's letting on. 2, he's definitely responsible for a lot of shit that happened during the production. And 3, we kind of hate him. So he's probably the killer. We go through his testimony and we realize something about the rating Rajas is that he knows a little too much about magicians. And also,
Despite saying he hates magic, he sure do good at magic.
Also, the real human name of the person who died of mysteries was, in fact, Man of Mystery. Okay. Yeah. That's the one that kind of got me.
Yeah, that was the one where you started to hit your limit.
Much.
Yeah, that one was like, all right, shut up, dude. That one was like,
you know
okay.
how I said there's a worst one in this game yet? Still haven't hit it.
That's fucking fantastic.
No.
You'll know it when you hit it. Don't worry. You'll know.
So the rating Rajas, we talked to him and we're like, all right, there's a reason we want to destroy the magicians. Who would have a reason to destroy the magicians? Oh, the guy who was kicked out early for being too much of a novice. He has this funny scar on his arm. We haven't seen your arm, Mr. Ratings. And he goes, shut up. And we go, can we see your arm? And he goes, fine. It has the same fucking scar. And we go, okay, so you're clearly the fucking magician. Who's this guy then? And he goes, yeah, he's just a fan that I let be me, so I had a cover. And he does, like, a new animation now. He had a sweater over his shoulders because he was, like, a prep. He had a camera because he's a sleazy producer who wanted to record. But then he kind of, like, has new quirks now where the sweater becomes, like, a cape. And he has a coin flip because he gets the coin magician. His two
Right.
tricks
And
that he was...
fire.
And
Yes,
fire.
fire.
He was known for 2 tricks, coin and fire.
He looks great.
He looks
so
sick
happy
as a
for him.
magician. He actually looked, like, kind of cool.
I really
Mini
enjoy him as a villain too, because whenever you make like a really good point as Apollo, or you like catch him on something, it does that thing where it like shows his face, no expression, just dot 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 dot, and you're like, I'm like, I got him. It happens like a couple of times, and I'm like, that's good. Like that's what happened when you got something right when you like got Bobby back in like Dual Destinies, and he just looked at you completely blank. I'm like,
Deadpan,
nice.
yeah.
There it is.
He's a performer. He knows not to let the mask slip too much, but he can't resist it. That's so good. we break his case down, we bring up all the shit, and we talk about how the murder actually happened. He was not stabbed in the back. No, that'd be kind of weird. What happened was something even weirder, is that
Yeah.
he was supposed to be pulled up by the string and pretend to be a dragon during the prank. But what instead happened is that there's a cushion above the people who are yanked up in order to protect them from getting hurt. Mr. fucking Raja over here, the ratings Raja, put a sword in there and fucking let him get stabbed like a saw trap.
He
Yeah, he got
fucking killed
yanked
this
up.
young man who clearly like idolized him so much that he was trying to imitate him. Like that kind of sucks.
That's almost incredible though, that like he creates a murder because we have to talk about his alibi, right? Because he goes, I wasn't fucking there. You cannot prove that I was there. And then Apollo does the turnabout. He thinks to himself, how would a person be able to kill if they weren't there? If they set it up like a trap. And it was like a trap. It's kind of incredible. This case rocks mechanically. I love thinking about it.
It really is a saw
And
trap.
I definitely noticed like right off the bat where they had this guy who was the same, like he looked exactly the same as the guy in the poster, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's been like almost 20 years. Like
Yeah.
why is he look exactly the same? And I never got to point that out. I also never got to point out that like in the edited like video that we have as evidence for a while, it's very carefully cropped so that we cannot see if the sword Trucy has and then throws over her shoulder has blood on it or not.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
The TV footage is just the
It's
closest
so bad.
like pull, possible so that you can not see any extraneous details. And then the second footage, of course, that we get to use earlier is the Bonnie focused footage, which
Gotta talk
I
to
mean,
these
it's
camera guys.
it's
They're bad and
yeah.
creepy.
It's uncomfortable, it's bad, but it also kind of does deliver on the joke because it just goes straight up her legs. Like, it's just like, okay, buddy.
Dude.
Okay, bro.
Hey, that ass, man.
Chillax,
That man should be in jail. Put him on the stand next.
As the horny guy on
she
this
is
podcast,
Over 18. She's
As-
not a 16-year-old girl, thank God.
as the horny guy on this podcast, you could not torture that information out of me. And I can't believe this guy just let us have this footage.
Well, he gave it to Bonnie, and she was like, "Here you go. Fuck that guy."
Yeah, true, good point. I'm just
But, like,
like,
imagine doing something so embarrassing that you wouldn't tell your friends, but the thing that you did that was so embarrassing was pertaining to like a celebrity.
it
and
also
then the
was used in a
celebrity
court of
gets it.
law. Used in a fucking court of law.
Yep.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, we're gonna kill that guy later, but for now, let's worry about this guy.
Yeah, Mystery gets stuck in a Rube Goldberg trap is what Roger does to basically
kill
provide
him.
an alibi so that he can be in another place at another time at the exact same time as the murder, excuse me. And you've got this elaborate pulley system set up. Mystery is supposed to go up the pulley into this like cushion to stop his ascent. But what if we put a spike trap up there? Like
Swear
a
to God,
fucking
it's a
Mario
straight up-
level.
It's a fucking
I
jigsaw
was gonna
trap.
say the same damn thing. That's when
So
you think you're safe.
we have to interrogate. We have to do Trucy's testimony a little bit because we have to talk about her sword changing trick because we bring up the fact that did she change her sword for a rubber one? And it's really funny that you get to cross-examine this testimony because every time you do, Apollo is like, "Hey, be careful, Trucy," and Trucy's like, "I'm holding a dangerous sword. Shut up. I'm trying to do my trick. What the fuck are you doing?" And everyone's like, "Apollo, shut the fuck up. She's gonna die." And we're like, "Okay, sorry."
Apollo.
We can see this entire thing motion captured too, right? Because Trucy's doing the trick.
She
in the
stands
courtroom.
in the middle of the courtroom, not in the witness stand.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of a cute use of the animation. That's like the first time I haven't really minded it so much.
yeah. I mean, I like this segment, right? I think it's really fun to kind of break out of the witness stand. It's if you're gonna do motion capture, this is a good way to use it. And it's fun to see Trucy doing her thing. On the other hand, I don't know if this is super necessary to actually make like solving this case, right?
Yeah.
We believe Trucy that she swapped the sword, and proving that she, did is important to some people in the courtroom, but really, like, when we get down to it, I don't know. It feels like there could have been a simpler way to accomplish this, right?
So through this testimony, we realize that the footage has been edited, and that is why we break apart this testimony, is because we realize that, the part where you twirl and actually do the changing the swords does not exist in the footage. And we go, why doesn't it exist in the footage? And the Rating Raja goes, hey man, I'm the guy who produced it. You gotta make some cuts, Not everything's cool to show in a video. And we go, but this is court evidence. We needed all the footage. Why didn't you give me all the footage? And he goes, you don't need it. Was it what? What? There's a man is dead. Of course I need it. What the fuck are you talking about? And that's how we get him on the stand, and that's how we roast him. I forget how we get him in the end. Oh, because he creates what he calls an invincible alibi. And Apollo goes back in his mind palace and remembers something that Trucy said to him once, which was, a good magician makes you seize what isn't and hides what is. Think about that, Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu said that.
Sun Tzu
Sun Tzu said that. Yep.
And Apollo goes, Sun Tzu said that. I know how to solve this.
Sun Tzu said that, and Trucy knows a little more about that than you do, pal.
She knows a lot about the art of war. she knows how to kill.
She does not. That is the entire point of this case.
You're right. I'm not a good defense lawyer right now. So we get him. We fucking break up. We prove something. We prove that he doesn't need to be there. He could have set it up beforehand because he's a trickster, and he falls apart at this somehow. He really lets his shell crack here, right?
He's so mad about the Grammarys that he just can't let his pride go.
Is that why he breaks down? Like, I forget what causes the breakdown exactly, but low-key, I remember like playing this case and going like, I think if you shut the fuck up right there, you would have been fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like every person you cross-examine in these games.
No, but there's like other killers where like we had them dead to fucking rights. Like we had them where they were, what they were doing, and we fucking got them. With this guy, I felt like it was just like, I pointed out like a flaw in your alibi, and he goes, "No, damn you! You know that I killed him," or some shit like that.
I mean, the final bit is the coffin bit, right?
Oh,
yes, the handprints
coffin
that we find at the handprints that you find at the very start of your investigation.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of circular.
It comes right back in that he had to tamper with the coffin and flip it around to make everything line up with how it was supposed to be.
Because he was not there, and he assumed that the stage presentation went as planned, but Bonnie messed up earlier, and he wouldn't have known that. So he had to go back and tamper with the evidence in order to make it look like things happened as they should via Trucy killing them. Got it.
Exactly.
I think it was a nice little wrap up there. I liked it. The only thing I wish we'd gotten is like, we know, and nobody else knows except for us and Phoenix Wright, who's in another country, probably getting court-martialed, is that Apollo is also like a Grammari. Like, he has magician in him. And it would have been nice to get like a little bit of like,
he doesn't know that.
A foreshadowing, a past shadowing, or something of that, even if it was only for us, the players. That would have been a lovely touch.
That implies that you would have already played a different Ace Attorney game, and each of them is made.
You know what? You're right. How dare I?
This game is made with the intention that if you play one of them, you won't be spoiled on the others.
Which is bad game design.
You think so?
I mean,
yes.
I understand how you get there, but on the other hand,
I think it's wrong.
I'm following these characters right over all this time. I'd like to see the resolution. I'd like to see
if
some
I didn't
follow-up
love
on these
Ace
plot
Attorney,
points.
I would not have kept playing after that first tutorial case. I wouldn't be here.
So, like, I understand the desire to have like games that you can play out of order and not be spoiled on the other ones, but it's also like, I feel like at this point, Ace Attorney is in series that you do play in order. Like, if you're going to play Ace Attorney, if you say on the internet, where should I start? Everyone's obviously going to say the first one. Because it's like accessible everywhere right now.
You can play it on everything.
True, you can play it on your hacked 3DS.
You can play
you
it
sure
on
fucking
your
can.
TI-81 calculator.
You can play it on
wish.
the cash registers at your local convenience store. That'd be kind of sick. Anyway, we fucking get this guy. Bing bada boom. High fives all around. Pour the Gatorade on Trucy. We got this guy. We fucking got him, ladies and germs. Now, Yuta does not like this. He goes, well, I clearly was right all along and that it was this guy or some shit like that. I don't remember what he says, but I remember thinking, like, bro, just shut up. Just shut up, you fucking bastard. Shut up.
Yeah, he has a breakdown animation, which is, I think, unique. At least, I don't think we ever get, like, a real breakdown animation for Blackwell, right, or anything like that. Like this time Sadmati he is like a rosary, right, that he's got. It like snaps and the beads like magically fly through the air and strike him multiple times in the face.
I have broken a bracelet and gotten hit by the beads, so like that shit hurts.
Yeah, but this is like 6 or 7 of them that all just go boom, 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 and magnetize to his face.
Get him. I feel nothing for this man.
He does show up then in the lobby and confronts Apollo and is basically just like, hey, Apollo. He's like, what? Fuck you.
Fuck you, runs.
And then, just runs out.
He does quickly say, thank you, Emma Sky, for doing your job. I really appreciate it. And Emma Sky goes, okay, thanks.
Thanks. And then he goes, Apollo Justice, go fuck yourself. I hate you.
Apollo Justice, eat glass.
This does not have the beautiful energy of I'm saddled with unnecessary feeling. It's simply not it.
Yeah, it sucks. Who knows? Maybe he'll turn around and become cool.
I don't know.
Okay. My bad. Trying to have.
We're gonna get a little Dessler here. I absolutely hate this guy because I have a past of religion being used against me to punish me. So I do not. It's like makes me super angry when he's like, your soul is evil and in the eyes of the goddess or whatever he says.
Yeah,
this is why I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, I have no problem if you're religious, that's fine. But the moment you use it against somebody else, like, get fucked.
That's a fair play, yeah. Using it as a weapon is probably not what religion was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was the point the whole time.
Maybe that was the whole point of the religion, and sometimes it could be bad. Yeah, fair enough. This guy really does like using it as his sword and shield, even if he's completely wrong.
I will kill him. And he never admits he's wrong. He's not like, oh, I made a mistake. He just gets hit in the head with some beads.
Like,
and then,
even
runs away like a bitch.
Even Franziska von Karma, when she got defeated, she did like the Saturday morning villain, like, oh, I'll get you next time, Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, she admitted she was wrong and was like, I'll get him next time.
Goes back to Europe.
Goes back to fucking Europe. I don't know. I need to warm up on this guy. He's kind of mild. He's a flavor. He's a taste the whole table can enjoy. You know what I mean? Like I need something spicier. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not enjoying.
I'm not enjoying him. We'll see.
Well, I guess we'll have to see how he shakes out then through the rest of the game. And if that changes,
bread. I need something to dip it in.
Yeah,
I'm keeping in mind that my first case, I was like, you know what, this little mild bastard isn't all he was cracked up to be. I hate him, and I was wrong. So
he could really turn around at the end.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I was kind of lukewarm on Simon for a good chunk of Dual Destinies, and I did warm up to him in the end. So
I was immediately in love. I liked him a lot.
I got there. I knew I would. I could feel it.
Bobby Fulbright, honestly,
Bobby made
fantastic.
it work. Bobby made Dual Destinies work so good.
Honestly, Dual Destinies probably. Looking back on it, I'm like, did I actually enjoy Dual Destinies? But I sure as fuck enjoyed Bobby Fulbright.
Remember when he was leaning out that window waving at us and
Yeah,
we were waving
dude.
back and we were like yelling things at each other? Oh, good memories. Shame he turned out to be an international super spy and murderer.
Yeah, let's see this new prosecutor wave at a window at me. If he comes if he comes out of a window and waves at me, you got it. No?
You'll reconsider then?
I'll reconsider.
I might be allowed.
Okay.
The window test.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, I think that's the magical turnabout then. That should do it for us this week. If you like this show, you should write us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or your podcast platform of choice, because it really does help us out. And we don't do any advertising or, spend any money on promotional stuff. So when you write a review, that actually legitimately does push us up the charts and show us to more people. If you write a nice review, I'll read it on the podcast, like this one from Viv Naps, who wrote, "First time writing a review, but I gotta do it for this crew.
Oh.
One of my favorite podcasts to listen to when I want to game but have to work instead. And extra relatable as a fellow 30 to 40 something year old. I love listening to both the insights and banter and knowing when Tiago and Rose's predictions are so right. See Dahlia Hawthorne reemergence and Phoenix Wright stealing Apollo's thunder. I highly recommend this to anyone even remotely interested in the series, and I'm looking forward to the gang playing DGS and experiencing that. Sick soundtrack."
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Woohoo!
So yes, thank you very much for that review.
I
We
so
really do
relate
appreciate
to
it.
wanting to game but having to work instead. I
True.
feel you.
True.
Want to game
Close my eyes.
forced to work.
Literally me sitting at work at the desk just like, I wish I was playing video games right now.
10,978 million dead prosecutors.
Oh my god.
Prosecutor sent to Europe or prison.
Yeah. So, thank you very much for that review. Really appreciate it. If you also like the show, you can do the same. And who knows, maybe you'll get read on the air as well. You can keep up with the show via our website, updatedautopsy.report. That will give you links to all of our socials and our Let's Plays with Dessy and I playing through the game at youtube.com/@Yotsuben. And also our good friend Iro sometimes guests on that as well. You can follow me on all social media at Yotsuben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there.
I believe.
Tiago?
I want to believe. You can find me
The truth is
at
out there.
Tiago S. Dutra on the website formerly known as Twitter. In my bio contains Linktree. I do not have that other thing in there. Trust me.
And Rose.
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on Tumblr and sometimes co-host. I almost just completely flubbed that. Where you can find my commission pricing and buy my art.
Buy Rose's,
Rose's
art.
Bye,
I'm
Rose.
so hungry. Please buy my art.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Like I said before, I'm just going through the spiel. Next time, we will be playing the first half of The Rite of Turnabout. See you next time.
Well, who on earth are we going to
Bye.
play as in this one?
Oh, good
Who are we
question.
gonna play as? We should guess.
Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, safe guess is Phoenix.
Wild guess is Trucy. She's not trained.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think. We've played as Phoenix, we played as Miles, we played as Apollo, we played as Athena. We played as Maya once.
True.
Maybe we'll be Maya again.
God, having some Maya gameplay would actually be a breath of fresh air.
That would slap. I hope we get to do that sometime this game. Probably not next case though.
Fair. Alright. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
I hope that's on the recording.
I hope so too.
I'm ready to clap whenever.
The time will pass away.
The time.
You can either spend it creating the life you want or spend it living the life you don't want. Choice is yours. Unknown.
Was this the quote for the day?
Yeah, that was the quote of the day.
I thought you were talking to me like as if I was a Disney.
Why do we? Why do we fall, Master Bruce? Master Bruce.
Master Bruce. Master Bruce.
It's like, why do we fall, Master Bruce?
I need to get a beer.
So we can pick ourselves back up. We need Fat Boy Slim on this.
I'm leaving.
We need Fat Boy Slim on this. We should get him as a guest.
Did Rose actually get up?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, I'm ready to
I wasn't sure if that was a bit or serious.
Let's
Yeah,
clap
I mean,
at 12.
I did go to the kitchen and get a beer.
Yeah, let's clap at 12. Yep.